Hey everybody, welcome to the Wildrose Way Podcast. I'm your host, Tom Smith, here in Oxford, Mississippi. We got a lot to cover tonight. We have breaking news going on in the Wildrose Pack, and our guest today is Texas Willie Zizmann.
Yeah.
So I think I might have given the secret away there, but Will, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Mr. Tom. Thank you for having me.
So, big news. You're going to be the general manager at the Texas facility.
That's right.
Starting full-time January 1st.
That's right. We've been working kind of back and forth in the last 6 months, and I'm ready to be there full-time, and it kind of slowed down with the traveling.
It's tough trying to go back and forth all the time. Yeah. You don't have all your stuff there, and then once you get moved in full-time, because you had another life-changing event a couple months ago, if I'm not mistaken.
I got married a couple months ago, and my wife and I are excited to move to the city. We are small-town people. She's from Kentucky, and I'm from Mississippi, so moving to Dallas is a big change, but we're excited for it, and I know my wife really jacked up about just getting to explore a city.
Yep. Send her up to Highland Park. Just send your credit card with her.
I don't know if they even let us in the door in some of those places.
So, your wedding was phenomenal. I mean, it was one of the nicest weddings, receptions. The whole thing was just so awesome. Mr. Jeff and Miss Amy and your folks. It was a super fun weekend.
We threw a good party, I think, for sure. Everybody said something. They said, "Man, y'all had a whole lot of people dancing." I said, we invited people that know how to party. I said we did. So.
But yeah, that was a super fun weekend. Of course, thank you for inviting me and Tina to come up.
Of course.
We had a little weekend getaway for us also.
Absolutely.
No dogs, which doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all.
So now let's back up. Now that we know you're going to be the GM in Texas, let's talk about your evolution into this new role. So you grew up hunting, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I did primarily deer hunting, and then my really good friend Claiborne Myers and Townsend Myers, their dad Billy got us into turkey hunting, and my grandfather would take me bird hunting a little bit. His son passed away, and he stopped doing a lot of hunting when his son passed away, but I got to go a couple times, which kind of gave me the itch to be out in the outdoors, and also enjoy playing golf, but I like doing something other than playing golf, so I enjoy it.
But did you grow up with any type of hunting dogs?
We grew up with some labs when I was younger. Didn't hunt them. I'd hunted around some dogs with some of my friends in high school and didn't even know what a good dog was. I just knew that dog would go get it and come back. And I've seen a couple of them eat them, but never really thought anything of it. And then when I started working here, Blake is the one who actually took me. Blake took me hunting with some of his Wildrose dogs, and I was blown away. And now realized, that's what a good dog is. And kind of got hooked on that because I've always enjoyed bird hunting. I've always loved duck hunting. And once you could add the aspect of the dog, I was ate up with it for sure.
It makes it a whole lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really even enjoy going without one.
Oh, correct. I can go without a gun, but I don't want to go without a dog.
I would agree with that for sure.
So you started here, it'll be 10 years in January?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I started in, I reckon, January 2016. I moved to Ole Miss that semester. That was that spring semester, and got a job here probably towards the end of January, early February. And kind of started just doing the dirty work, mucking pens and, taking care of the birds. And we got to work a handful of the mama dogs and stuff, which was fun because it was fun to learn to work the dogs. And it was cool that you and Mike let me and Brian and Townsend and stuff take mama dogs hunting before we even had our own dogs, which really kind of gave me like the initiative to say, okay, well, I really want a dog now, which once you kind of get a dog, us Wildrose folks know how it goes. You get another one, and then another one, and then another one. So.
Yeah. So let me see. So you started there around end of January of 16, part-time, like you said, mucking pens, changing sand, a lot of grass cutting, a lot of weeding.
Yeah, we did a lot of that, yeah.
When did you transition into the apprentice program for training?
So it's kind of blurry, but from what I remember, I was kind of working mama dogs here and there, and Steven and Blake were, they kind of took me under their wing and gave me some opportunities to work with some of the younger mama dogs that they were working with. Like, they were responsible for training it, but then they were like, "Here, well, you work it for me today, and we'll go." I'll you can shadow me and just do what I tell you to do. So I kind of started my apprenticeship there, and I guess Steven took a liking to me and kind of decided that I was going to be an apprentice, and I did an apprenticeship under Steven. He was a great teacher, really, really patient with me, because I was not necessarily the quickest learner, but I really enjoyed it, and I think I like to work really hard. So it was something that once I started doing, I was really interested in the strategy of it, especially like trying to be a step ahead of the dog. It's one thing to learn how to work the dogs. It's a different thing to how to train the dogs. And Steven did a really good job teaching me how to train the dogs and how to think outside the box. And then obviously just being surrounded by you and Mike and Blake and Steven, I got a lot of opportunities to ask questions. And
yeah, it's that when you figure out the training aspect, then you get into the anticipation, knowing the dog, when to stop it or when not to stop the dog.
Yeah.
And, getting that relationship with that dog, and as you train them, and we talk a lot about being a solutionist, because litter mates can be polar opposites, and we have to figure out what makes them tick. You can send one dog, and as soon as they take that good line, good, the litter mate, you can say good, and they turn around and look at you.
Yeah.
So then you learn, don't say good.
Yeah. It's really important. I think that learning your dog's tendencies is what's really important. And if you can say, okay, well, Lucy here, she really likes to turn to the right on her back cast. Well, when we start working on back cast, I'm going to use my right hand just to help her feel extra correct. And then when I start to see that the right back cast tends to hinder us, I'll start trying to teach her a left back cast, just like on the Nigel T-post drill or something like that. But it's not so much that I'm trying to teach one who just constantly wants to turn to the right, both, until I need to show them that, right? And that kind of, like you said, gives the dog the confidence. It's like I want you to be confident in what you're doing before I start teaching you something you're not confident in. I give the example to a lot of my clients who, let's say, for example, we've got a lot of people who have the desires to have a waterfowl dog, a hard charging, great line taken, stopping at a distance waterfowl dog. And the line of dog that they may get has the potential for that, but maybe a more natural ability to be an upland dog. And like the Mattis dogs, I've said this on a number of bases. I think the Mattis dogs are the most, but I didn't get to work with any Hamish dogs, but he's a Hamish dog, but are the most naturally gifted upland dogs that we have at the kennel. You don't have to really teach them how to do a lot of that. They naturally know how to use their nose. They naturally have a quartering pattern. Like, they are natural, I think, upland dogs, which is really cool. And I've also had that same thing where it's like, well, now we have to work a little bit harder on lining you out in the water, right? So going back to that, what I was saying, like, if somebody has a dog like that and they really want this amazing waterfowl dog, you almost go, well, let me make sure that I can teach you how to do something you feel really good about yourself in, like the upland side. Like, I'm just going to let you be good at that since you're naturally inclined. And then once you've gained confidence, I'll start teaching you things that you're not good at, that you're not naturally inclined. And that will help build that relationship with the dog. Yeah,
I remember when Mattis was young, even on memories in the water, he'd swim in a zigzag pattern.
Yeah, that is a tendency for his puppies as well. And another example is like Teddy. All the Teddy dogs I've always mentioned have always had a great water entry, and Teddy has a amazing water entry. Hits the water like he's awesome for photos, and he's a hard charger. He'd break ice, and his puppies, I think, are really great waterfowl dogs.
Yeah.
And then you've even mentioned this about Teddy at times, taking him quail hunting. He's really good at getting 70 yards really fast. And you're like, hey, man, that's good in some cases, not in all.
It's only 25.
Right.
So, yeah, he is exceptionally fast in the upland field and not as methodical, just that hard charging 0 to 100 immediately on everything.
Yeah. And then just knowing your dog's tendency. All right, so you're like, hey, Teddy Makes a great waterfowl dog. He's going to be my waterfowl dog. I'm going to take him, and I can take him quail hunting, but I need to work on some things before we go. Whereas Mattis, you say, look, he's jam up at quail hunting. He points, he'll flush them, he's steady, he retrieves the hand, he's everything you want in a quail dog, And you're like, I'm going to exploit him in that situation because that's what he's naturally best at, and it's fun to watch him work there. But the beauty behind both of those dogs is they're dogs of duality. They can do both.
They can. Mm-hmm.
They can definitely do both. It's just, like, this is my dog's tendency, and this is what I think that they're the best at. I'm going to really try to exploit
Mattis
that.
does not have a dynamic water entry.
No, but like, a lot of them, they get in just fine. They all have different things that they're stylish at. Mm-hmm. A water entry for Teddy is stylish, whereas a point for Mattis is stylish. Those are two things that, are the difference in the dog. But
yeah. So I was around when you graduated is when you started into the training aspect, and that, of course, you have a very natural ability with the dogs that I've seen, communicating with them and things like that. So when did you decide, just like, you know what, this is cool. This is what I want to do.
Yeah, I think that I had some validation from Mike one day. I had trained a dog named Amber, who turned out to be a really nice little red dog. Mm-hmm. And this was during my apprenticeship, and I was really only working with maybe 3 or 4 dogs. And Amber was one that, we had made a lot of strides together. We'd been working together for close to 6 or 7 months. And I was talking with Mike as I was about to graduate, and he was watching me run the dog. And he asked who trained the dog, and I said, I did. And he said, you trained that dog? And I said, yeah. And he was like, well, then you can train another one. And so that, honestly, like, just getting that validation from somebody like Mike was like, man, he said I did a good job with the dog. I want to do another one. I want to do another good job.
Yeah.
And got 2 or 3 more, and before you know it, I ended up being lucky enough to get my dog Julep, who already knew what to do, but it was fun to actually have a hunting dog. And then it was kind of just, I would rather do this than work in an office. I went to school for finance and knew quickly that I didn't necessarily enjoy doing that. So.
Yeah. That Julep now, she's gonna be hard. Your second real dog's gonna be hard.
There is not a dog that holds a candle. Every dog is. I've had a bunch of them now from Wildrose, and I've tried to keep a bunch of them, and the truth is none of them are. I compare them all to my dog, and we tell everybody don't do that, but I can't help it. She's the best dog in the whole wide world. And they say you only get one good one, so I hope that's not true.
Me too, because I had Dixie.
Yeah, I really hope it's not true.
But yeah, Julep, she's so funny.
Hilarious.
She acts like she wants pets, but no.
No, she doesn't want you to touch her.
4 seconds, and then she wants to go.
She's my favorite thing about Julep is that she's extremely intense, especially when it comes to working. She's 9.5 years old now, and today, right before I came here, I asked her if she wants to go outside, and the first thing she does is she goes to my truck, grabs a bumper or a tennis ball or whatever out of my bag, and brings it to me. And she doesn't bring it to me like, let's play. She brings it to me and looks at me as, let's work.
Yep.
And she'll do retrieves in the morning and in the night. She'll do them in the rain, snow. She doesn't care if it's cold, if it's hot. She just wants to retrieve. And she can be kind of a pain when she doesn't get to. So
Yeah. I mean, the bottom line is these dogs are athletes. Mm-hmm. You have to engage them physically and mentally, because they can be tired physically and still not tired because their brain hasn't turned off. Sure. I don't want a robot. I want a thinking dog. So you have to engage that mind just as much as you do the body.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you aren't stimulating a dog, especially a young dog, and we get this, I'm biased, obviously, but I've seen it in our genetics compared to other genetics, is that a reacting dog and a thinking dog, you have to manage them differently. Mm-hmm. Like a thinking dog, and my example goes back to Mattis because I've just trained a lot of Mattis puppies, is they get bored very quickly. Mm-hmm. And if you're not interesting enough, like if the drill may be boring, but the terrain needs to be interesting, or the the terrain may be boring, but the drill needs to be more complex for them to want to play. If you do, they'll do a couple trailer memories in the yard, and then that's all I want. I mean, unless you're going to come up with something more interesting than that, I'm good on that.
Yeah.
Whereas another dog like Julep, you could do the exact same retrieve 1,000 times, and she's going to want to do it.
Yeah.
But that's a personality difference. But like you said, I think with a young dog, stimulating the mind is very, very important to get them to be able to be a thinking dog. And then as your dog gets older, who like Julep is 9, mental stimulation is also extremely important. But keeping her in physical shape is really important, because when I do hunt her, we don't always hunt in the most forgiving situations. And having a dog that I can trust, like Julep, who's 9 years old, I can trust her to do whatever I want her to do. I know she's going to find the bird.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't, it's because it got up and left, or we definitely can't find it because it's in a difficult place. But I just think it's important that you keep them in good enough shape so that when you do hunt them, they're prepared for it.
Yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%. And just like we've talked about the Purina testing, that the dogs that kept in ideal body condition live 2.5 years longer. I mean, who doesn't want their dog to live longer?
Absolutely.
Red will be 15 in April.
Yeah. And I had somebody call me today, ask me, their dog's 5, and they asked me, how much more time do I have to hunt my dog? And I was like, oh, man, you got
4 or 5 years.
I said, even more than that, maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
hunted Brian's dog Murphy at 12.
Yeah.
It wasn't hot. It wasn't hot. It was actually duck season, but it was mild day. Temperatures on the water were mild, and it was an easy swim. It wasn't super. And we hunted that dog at 12 years old.
Yeah.
And then obviously breaking ice and stuff like that, I wouldn't recommend that.
12-year-old
but
dog's job.
at 5 years old, you probably got almost 7 more years if you do it right.
Yeah, keep them in shape. Hopefully no injuries, anything like that. So, Red does a lot of sleeping these days.
Yeah,
a whole lot of sleeping. But he's still he's pretty deaf, except if you crinkle a potato chip bag. It's magic.
That frequency, and it goes down in my household too. That the plastic wrap frequency is really loud in our house.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it is.
Because I've actually noticed that about Julep too. Sometimes you hit the whistle, and we've seen both of these dogs that we're talking about, Red and Julep, stop at long distances, short distances, high winds, doesn't matter, and lock up and look at you. And then every once in a while, I hit the whistle like today, and it's like, hello, did you hear me at all? Like, there's no way you didn't hear that. I think at about 9.5, they're creeping into that selective hearing. Some of that is happening.
Yeah, and plus, you got to remember, I mean, how many gunshots has she been under?
A lot.
This is one reason I can't hear very good, because
Right.
I wasn't smart enough to wear hearing protection.
I've been doing better about that.
I have now, but it's a little late for me. But
Yeah.
whatever.
I'm trying to jump on it.
What can help?
I'm trying to jump on it early.
It can't hurt anything.
No.
That's the main thing. So you get, and what was crazy part is we had just promoted you to senior trainer here.
Yeah.
When you got the opportunity to go to Texas and work for Joe.
Yeah.
But that is a cool
It's a cool
piece
facility.
of property.
Yeah, we're excited about it.
You got that old store that Joe brought in it came from
Tennessee.
And just the property with the Dallas Hunting and Fishing Club.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of Dallas Hunting and Fishing Club, did you get any phone calls after the landman?
Yeah, we got some phone calls. And we just got a brand new puppy facility. It's completely new. We haven't even had a puppy in it yet. I've got 2 females that are bred that hopefully we can use at the facility in January. And I had a bunch of people call about puppies, and I was like, look, we've had to have our breeding program kind of on a halt for this new building, so you don't have to let us get caught back up, but we would love to have you to take down a deposit. So a lot of started dog calls too.
Yeah.
A lot of people are interested in a dog that's ready to hunt. But yeah, the landman thing was really cool. Taylor Sheridan's got a dog named Sam that John Murphy trained, and Sam's a great dog. And Taylor Sheridan came out and super satisfied, and I guess wanted to give us a little pat on the back. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, because we sold.
If he's
one the
watching
next
this,
day.
thanks, Taylor Sheridan.
Because we sold one the next day.
That's great.
And Al sold one the next day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my phone started blowing up.
I had 1,000 videos of the same picture. Like, did you see this? Yes, I saw it.
Yeah.
You're the 100th person to ask me.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah, because we were at Tina's cabin over in Sardis, cleaning it up after some guests had been there, and my phone starts blowing up. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, is that real?
I mean, I don't really watch Landman, so I don't really watch a lot of TV, but I know about the show. And when John had mentioned it to me when the dog went home this summer, he said, yeah, Sheridan said something about he was gonna give us a shout out, and I was like, that's cool. And I told Kathy, and I was like, don't tell Mike because I don't want him to get too excited and it not happen. I'd hate for us to get cut or something.
Yeah.
But it worked out great. It really did.
First
it was cool.
episode, season
Super
3.
cool. Yeah.
So that's
super cool.
You should watch it.
I'll watch it. I'll get when I sit down for 5 minutes. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's really funny too.
Yeah. Billy Bob Thornton in it.
Hilarious.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Hilarious.
He's good.
And one of the other guys who's in one of the other Taylor Sheridan series, Lioness, he's in both of them and plays like an operator in the Lioness, but then an oil field worker in Landman.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's I mean, that was such a good plug for us. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool. And Dallas has been really great. The property is wonderful. It's really hot there. Mm-hmm. It's really hot in Texas. We're just like 9 miles south of downtown Dallas, and the Dallas Hunting and Fishing Club is the third oldest club in the United States and the oldest established hunting club west of the Mississippi. 1885. Right? 1885 is the year it was established. Wildrose is able to use all of the property during the off season for waterfowl. During hunting season, we're limited to probably around 200 acres, which is still wonderful. We've got huge groves of trees. We've got a massive lake. We've got a technical pond. We've been doing a lot of clearing where there's this little area that will flood a little bit that'll kind of give us slightly flooded timber during the rainy season. We've also got as many native grasses as you can imagine. We've got to get some stuff planted out there, but the soil in the Trinity River bottom is not. It's kind of sandy. Mm-hmm. It's not as. It's not
not rich like it is up here.
Correct. And so growing stuff out there can be a little bit more difficult. We've just got a bunch of crap grass out there, but it does make good cover. So we're able to.
And you got those dang sandburrs.
There's a lot of sandburrs. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, the more and more that we've done with the sandburrs, the worse and worse the grass has gotten. Mm-hmm. And the sandburrs we've tried to kill, and John's talked to me about this. He's like, I've tried to kill them, but like it just ends up killing all the grass. Mm-hmm. So then you got sandburrs and sand. So it's like, well, I'd rather have grass than sandburrs. And the dogs actually kind of figure out how to get them out themselves. The first few weeks I had my dogs from Mississippi over there, they were chewing at their hands and all this stuff. But
limping.
But you'll kind of actually see them, the way they'll drag their feet. If you step on them, they go in. But if you roll them, they'll come off. They're kind of odd, but they will hurt because I've got them in my hands. You grab a bird that's got them on there, right in the fingers. Yeah, they hurt. Yep. So the dogs are pretty resilient. They're pretty tough. I'll give them that.
And then plus you guys have tower shoots on the property. Mm-hmm. So it's not like we have to go to Westervelt 2.5 hours away. You get in a side-by-side and it's 4 minutes.
Our dogs get a lot of gunfire exposure at our kennel because the tower shoots are actually less than a 4-minute drive, side-by-side drive away. It's really part of our training grounds. Is part of the tower ring, and it's going to be great. The good part about that is you can work your dogs in an environment that they're going to see on a simulated hunt. So, I mean, we do a lot of stuff up and over the logs, through the brush, into the thick stuff where the birds are going to be shot over their head and land. There's an area where if the birds get through, they'll land in the marsh, so you can run through that and into the marsh. And then there's obviously that open area that's going to be really conducive for the younger dogs. Mm-hmm. But
just like we start the young dogs.
You can run them in all those environments, which is really cool with that tower, is it's got an open area, a water marshy area towards the back, and then like a heavily grove tree area. So a lot of good stuff in there.
So during this transition, what is the hardest thing you've had to figure out?
The hardest thing for me is like sitting down at the computer and writing emails and making phone calls and administrative stuff. Yeah. It's not that I can't do it, and it's not even really that it's difficult to do. What's difficult is me actually doing it. I want to be out doing something else. I want to be working the dogs, or I want to be out in the field helping the guys build a new blind that we're building or whatever. And so that's kind of the hardest part. It's not that it's overly difficult. I will say being a project manager for the new puppy facility was the first time I've ever done anything like that. So that was kind of difficult. A lot of people were looking at me for, decisions to be made on that, which was, I guess, flattering, but truth was I was like very underqualified when it comes to being able to design a healthcare facility. So thankfully I had Lynette and Mike and you guys and Blake help me with like drawing up some blueprints and deciding what materials to use and then getting that to the builder and then them executing the product. And it looks great. We're really excited to use it. Looks great.
Yeah, because I'm going to have to come down and get my new dog. So I'll be able to see it.
Maggie.
Right after, probably between Christmas and New Year's, I'll come down.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen
Perfect.
the new.
Hopefully we'll have some puppies in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got the building's designed after the Oxford building. It's not as big, but it's designed after the Oxford building. It's broken into 3 different rooms, which I know if you've been to the Wildrose tour, you've heard the spiel about why everything's broken into certain rooms, for 1 for isolation and 2 for sanitation. But we've got an office area in the front with big bathing bathtub and stuff. And then the middle room will be our whelping room, where we've got our off the ground boxes with whelping boxes for the mamas to be able to have puppies. And then the back room is off the ground where the dogs are sanitary. And then from 5 weeks to 8 weeks, we'll be doing our Super Learner Center, which will be a mixture of indoor and outdoor. But our outdoor part is on this like eco-friendly AstroTurf. And that'll help get the dogs used to the feel of grass, but they're not actually on grass. It's easy for us to keep it sanitized. We'll get like a Wizzy wash and wash it off. And then hopefully by the 8-week mark, they'll be going out on grass and real grass and being able to send the puppies home.
Yeah, kind of like we had put the fake grass in the Super Learner here when we stopped taking them outside.
Right.
So what's the future hold?
The future is Oxford and Texas are the 2 places that I've spent the most time in. So I'm really trying to make sure that Texas can get back in line with the values that Oxford holds. Like I said, we've got this new breeding facility, so we're going to start trying to pump out a few puppies this year. We've got a great stud dog coming in. His name is Birdie. We're importing him from the UK. He's qualified for the IGL 2 years in a row. Really, really nice dog. And I want to get my breeding program up. We've been really cleaning the facility up, so the grounds have improved a lot. We've got our store up and running. I'm hoping to get some more and more merchandise put in the store. And as puppy pickings come, we'll be able to grow that part of the business. The training and boarding, we are so truly blessed to have the Wildrose name attached to that, because obviously, even if we don't have enough room for everybody to board, we have all these dogs that are in training that have come through and they've kind of graduated, and now our apprentices in Texas will have dogs to be able to work that are in boarding, and that kind of keeps us going until we can really get the training side up. So that's our goal.
Because Gunner's been there how long now?
Like 5 years.
5-6 years. And Glenn's been there full time for a
2 or 3 years.
Yeah, but he was an associate before then, so he's very familiar with the process, as is Gunner.
Right.
Because Gunner's picking up our dogs tomorrow at the airport, which I'm excited about this.
Thank you, Gunner. Thank you, Gunner.
Breaking news, we're picking up a chocolate female to put in the breeding program. I saw her pedigree. I was like, whoa. Her grandpa's like Teddy's daddy.
Yeah.
Bailey's.
Yeah.
That's her pedigree was just amazing. So we decided to pull the trigger on that. And hopefully, as long as the semen test comes back here in the next couple of weeks, I'll get my field trial champion.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, good looking dog.
Yellow.
Yep. Replaced Teddy because Seawee's Teddy's last hurrah.
Yeah, he's 10.
Yeah.
And Birdie's a black dog. So we're excited to get a new stud dog.
Yeah, Mike was showing me pictures of him. And
So we'll have 3 stud dogs in Texas on the property. We'll still be able to breed Otto a couple of times and Gus a couple of times, but we'll have Birdie, Rio, and our youngest, who is also named Gus. He's a son of Gunner's Peg Apollo, and so we really like him.
Okay,
so he's a nice dog too.
Nice. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this new dog coming in. But man, it's just there's so much going on with all the locations right now because coming up, we got the holidays and then got some hunts in January. And then February hits, and then first weekend we're in Atlanta for Dallas Safari Club. The second weekend, you're going to be in Nashville with Mike at NWTF. I will be in Seawee in Charleston with Kirk and Steven. So a lot of moving parts going on that time of year. But other than that, a couple things to hit up here for y'all. Christmas is coming up. We do have some nice stocking stuffers. We got these silk custom Leonard Logsdale ties with the Wildrose puppy on them. And our friend Jason over at Dead Socksy has made us some custom Wildrose socks. Great stuffing stockers for kids and dads and grandpas and everybody in between. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. We're trying to get this podcast built up and bring you more dog content throughout the year with exciting guests and all kinds of things around the world going on with different topics, different guests, and we're going to have some folks from North Carolina we're going to do a podcast with coming up in the next couple months. And so stay tuned, and we'll see you in the field. Willie, thanks so much, man.
Thanks for
It's been a pleasure working with you for 10 years, watching you kind of grow up, watching you get married. And, Brian got married this year. Now he's having a baby in January.
That's right.
And it's like, dang, Tina's always called you her sons she never had.
Yeah, I may be moving far away, but I'm not leaving. I'm a Wildrose lifer, so we'll be here for life. But come see us at National Turkey Federation. I think it's the 14th and 15th. It's like the Saturday.
Valentine's weekend,
weekend,
yours is like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I think.
Y'all come see us. We're going to do a couple of shows and stuff with our new stud dogs, and come meet me.
All right. Thank you again.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the field.